Hello everyone, my name is Dar Rath. I'm the pastor at Faith Lutheran Church in Port Elgin, Ontario, Canada. And each week I bring you a story that takes about 5 minutes to watch. And so some of them are funny, some of them give you something to think about. And this is the story today is in a book by Richard Wagamese called One Story, One Song. The title of the article is Feel the Breeze. Age is a funny thing. Some people say it's all relative, that you're only as old as you feel. Others claim we end up childlike again as the circle of years nears completion. I'm never sure which of many aphorisms to lean on. My personal take is that aging is gravity having its way with you. As you mature, there are moments when you swear you can feel parts of you dropping. There's noticeable sag to the buttocks, for one thing. Somehow you've developed a portly droop to the abdomen. When the firmness of youth once held sway, there's now only sway. Everything eventually heads south on us, and if there are jiggles accompanying our formerly we call them fab flab or love handles. That's on good days. On bad days, we pinch a couple of fingers full and shake our graying heads. It's a harder slug than it used to be getting up the timber roads that leads to the mountains behind our house. When Deb and I ski, I have to stop for a rest on the longer runs. My talk is peppered with phrases like, "You wouldn't believe it now, but back in my prime, you should have seen me." Age and gravity are relentless yanks on our lives. When I turned 53 not too long ago, we had a quiet celebration. No big party or dinner, just a calm recognition of time passing and a life flashing out on the edges. There's no need for extravagance. Here in the mountains, days are merely days. In the relaxed plot of them, we find parts of ourselves that were lost in the frenetic pace of the city. I've become more accustomed to the soft glow of a morning fire than the roar of traffic in a freeway. I've grown more attuned to the symphonic clarity of a sunset than to the raucous clatter of an urban street. But as I settle into my favorite chair, sometimes I find myself longing for the more elastic, more exuberant man that I used to be. My recollections are more about sports. Maybe it's typical guy thinking, but I can't resist the urge to measure the current me against the nimble, devil-may-care athlete I once was. When I played hockey, I was always the fastest skater on the team. Mind you, I was never more than a rec league favorite, but I loved it. Something in the power and grace of skating has always called to me. The winter I was 14, I happened upon a crater the size of a swimming pool at the construction lot down the street. When the freeze came, it became my own private rink. None of the other neighborhood kids had discovered it. I would go there at night and skate into the dim glow of distant streetlights. I couldn't see very well, but I didn't need to. I left my stick in the snowbank and flashed around the small stretch of ice circles, figure eights, and quick lateral dashes. I practiced moves I'd seen in television games, learning to turn and stop and change directions at top speed. After that, I taught myself to thread the puck between my legs, curl it on the blade on my stick, and skate with it through the turns and twists, dipsy doodles and spins. I felt as though I was inventing the game for myself. As often as I could, I found a team to play on. I've played at frigid outdoor skate rinks where chunks of the boards were missing and the area behind the nets was strung with chicken wire. I've played in modern arenas before hundreds of fans. I've played in public tournaments and in a 2 a.m. beer leagues while a yawning attendant waited to clean the ice. On every team, it was my speed that marked me. On a lumber camp team in the 1980s, they called me Feel the Breeze Wagamese. Someone wanted to put that on the back of my shirt. They said a breeze was all you could feel when I blazed past. My cousin vanished with my hockey gear one year, and that was it for my playing days. The $700 worth of equipment was too much of an investment to make all over again. But I still can't look at a stretch of ice without thinking of the game. I can't watch more than a few minutes of hockey night in Canada without missing it. On cold winter nights when the sky is purple and frost curls into the windows, I still feel the breeze of Wagamese, that jubilant kid waiting to lunge over the boards. The particular joy of growing older is the pocket treasures you carry with you. Their power transcends the effects of gravity and time. A part of me will always be streaking forward into the fray, living in the promise of the future. I can only look back and marvel at my incredible journey, the places I've been, and the names I've carried. Feel the breeze. These days, it's fair and warm. What a wonderful story from Richard Wagamese about his days as a hockey player and how he's aging gracefully. And aren't we all? I used to play all kinds of sports as well, so I can sure identify with this story. So thanks so much, Richard Wagamese, for this story in One Story, One Song. I love these stories that are in this book, and I highly recommend it. So thanks for taking 5, and blessings on your day.